This easy. This easy. Okay. Yeah.
Dan. Hey, Dan. Just take those on your next year. Dan. So he's happy to play.
This okay, yeah. No problem.
Better like this.
He probably likes it that way. Okay. Drupon manifested that. Alright, just get it. Beings are really tricky.
Ta chăm được sinh ra tông nào đó thành tông cái đấy. Qua sinh đó. Đấy, nhà mày, hay bố. I think this okay.
You're gonna have to fix it to Rinchen.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Did it work? Well, I believe so. Yeah.
This better?
You have to get it really well. You can use that Drupon and we'll get this straight.
Yeah, no, this okay. Okay, after maybe you fixing, okay? Okay.
And we'll start with opening prayers in the yellow prayer book, page 1. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation in all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation in all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mothers, sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mothers, sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mothers, sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. To the lamas who possess the 3 kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings, with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization, enlightenment. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratnamandala Pratisha Soha. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor Vajradhara without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father, Jigten Sumgun. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate One, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I realize the unelaborated nature of mind. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma, of the 2 vehicles and the practices common to both, according to the dispositions and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings.
Tamke tuje shaje resun chung shenche meto luje bungjong we zeten hambo de warji beke shaje jerbo shobla ja celo tujen changwang de lo na ro tang men me ta po po ren ji gen Gaji sumne za we la me sha za ju la ma ye dam chu jong la sur ban de so da ju qin jie lo wa tang zo ka zang de ma zhen dong ra ka zang de ma chi du zhen ne ta da ji ken go to suang a zo da de jie ya ta wa da ji ting go to de tang wo jin dong ro我真我以前过头了，现在在我们苏巴瓦学的沙巴的嘛，苏巴瓦学的，他是同大中几块的话合唱这种。我这几天呢，他让你做人这块红酒，那点能把它看内心，就给我些东西讲的，都这设计了吧他。查巴块上那这买的金巴的中国的乌苏南卡上，农民其实热点头那错别嘛，家长乌斯那么多。我当时听这个啥的，让你做人现在的，当我他那些的人拿了怕做人这是怕。在多点钟起，我在多点钟起，明明讲第一次下来起，我听到了，听的那在心头差不多是要南看那的了，现在我南边看那现实那么多，我当天开始那么没把下来的，起码就可能接时间多，我听啥的，在听到了要花多龙可能接着了，听的那在心头差不多，让给龙先跟我，那在心头差不多听啥的。我这听好，他做都是设计了吧？现在在接他们的，接把这个蓝天是的。我他听着我在蓝天中的接他们看到了，我这个样中听着我在有啥的是的。 or the name which is as dominant and that's all the draw him in content. Singing could also be Madurge marriages, the winner associated one in Majidi that you see that is answers of Gamarvi, another Gigi, Dorje, who didn't want but want to Janjun Rave on the land with someone. Then you chance someone Tangi also Chervale, and you jump there the eventual Namka Domain Long Trot. 学姐见送切娃这些张这么多见证这位，都他们人见证这别的走去见些这么很多人对对那做都这些这样的，像你都这用那去见想用光边经济经过我的也把将来存钱他们人到这我这些都的都有龙我就去多开了这交这个的想用你看这边这些面个别没的，更强可观念的帮对的这些年就是多学姐见送子。 토바 감봉을 자연 토바도서 공항 예빈 군이 지진데 예바 등좀 더 지고 초나고 용접제게 예바 염지된 염지로 랑소지 그람제지 뭐 차란제게 또 감가지 또 샤지 차장가 대연 이간 세배제게 더 장장 거베 메달스 이상의 잡히님조대로 뉘당 용자 이만 예바 남선 간로 라마 통치 마수시야만 원장 머세게 제송 제세자 초토강 어디야 감봉을 지도 해지 차제 지고 남카르제게 용파도 자토가나 주모 가정가단 되게 되면 乔家我店有那个乔家我店我这店呢也讲开着รับ店参加的店都是我们的香港康乐托办现场能吃不能的店我们这边把嘛你看那所有的我也不那个我那么还是当你这说说我们这边你说个这那每年我在那个那平衡这个用的话我把嘛你看还有我先开始什么跟我我认真的事情这个我 Yana guna pipi to garabin sem bijenam zes what I think in matter ston shura da sit.
Yat logo marva.
Mari marma ona dixida.
And so then we come back to the Sorry. I'm messing too much with it. So coming back to the sadhana on page, so we were on page 35 yesterday, and after that, so after the field of accumulation dissolves into you, then there's the Om Svabhava mantra, where we purify into emptiness, the same meaning as before. And then next we come to the self-visualization, which is the actual main part of the practice. So it begins on page 36, the visualization. And so actually first the visualization, the generation begins in fact with a completion, with a dissolution first. So it says first, my body gradually dissolves into the awareness hung, which then remains in space in the form of another string. So first there is a dissolution before we actually come to the arising of the generation. So the body dissolves and then it dissolves into the awareness home, which is where you just rest within a non-conceptual state, or the state without any reference point. And then there is this within the space. Then there appears the nada string, which is very subtle within space. And so the first line here, abiding within this state without any reference point, without any concepts, that is the after you dissolve, the dissolution itself. That is the taking the Dharmakaya as the path, or death as the path. And so that then leads to enlightenment in the Dharmakaya and the Bardo. And then the second one is when the nada, then again it arises, and so then from after the dissolution, then there is this nada string in space, and that is the taking the Sambhogakaya and the Bardo as the path. And then this nada has the essence of your own awareness. And then from that, from the luminous and empty natural state of all phenomena, then arises an intensely blazing protection sphere of Vajra ground and so forth. And so then here begins the Nirmanakaya generation stage. So taking the Nirmanakaya as the path. And so then the rest until page 44 in the middle, until pet on page 44, that is the self-visualization.
tene dati kare tere tse son dronde renchen na so le ro chimi kangje sen tsini gunzo chirobe mando shodi kan shodan
Appreciation.
hip sum subdin do
Sum to sum.
tere ma di stri ja gon ta jena long da ma dong xin ba tene ta ti che yen kang da ra tse so ji sa ne ti gang la zong ko tse so jian do to da do do je mer te jian do wa te ji sa ne ti wi na so chu che de ba ni man ji de te chu che se me to be me de ni man ji de te sin ji de tun xian ke de te tu da du si jia jing ko si yang se so gan ma ta ran yang se so gan ma wu wa ta yang se so gan ma yi ge yang de si ji yu la te gan ma wu la shuo ta ni man de da be de yang cha shuo de ni da chang chuo se这让人给进来的，
长说不了。
让人给进来的，手边多见红的，是这让现在，他这趟去旁边看干嘛？下手的点个干嘛多？我这他做结尾那好了，今天讲起，今天是那个了，我今天。他让人拿的给一手边多见红的，听我们把它是的，他拿的是让那把写吧是。我这多见红景听我们把它写的，他是第一下马可把这全部的下对的，在你的业这么着有人多超其他在有的做出来，配音呢，多见着我朋友们提供着我有的在那出的，我有的听众这啥的，提纲那听多见红景听我们把它是，我们讲从这位同济蓝队是我在这边去确保配。确保配操作，这位同期下的，做人这话他比你这讲，这做人对呢，上网来听是上网红听呢，但但现在他们记得用小话里头呢，这种做东红对的呀，让你今天这边做做这这。但我讲个其呢，2年代的强调把起，总经就是那代头啊，我他来修改的起，头强这样的都这些强调把的，这个用说把它强调把的，让人那代给都是红的听我们把它是，难道？这是。
知道我这个人。
这当然，看些历史蛮大些的，但你自己看这啥子？但你娘自己看。开始这样的。
你是的，什么人呢？
这人他等下你嘛，他把可以强调把是对吧？你嘛的强调吧？他把。
你上线，
上线。贵用说吧。
卡卡吃的。
对，卡卡的多。可以样子东尼，然后在前头那个东尼这么多，东尼的叫班着。我这他这天天。大话领导他们大话，你嘛领导带你上路抢菜，他就用小事难多，就是话来讲，真的让你今天这边就难管当初，我在今天这边就难管当初，现在难多，我当初现在了，真的。他写这讲什么？他这个嘛，弄这东西话，他个做早晨的单呢，这个话才说能这么多。我这呢，他这趟进呢，这养你有了，这里也进，这养你。我这那玩意东北用，咱这么去可能没送什么。我做才说这，他这么去送把那几天就这。我这几天呢，那东送挺久吧，我这话，我那东送挺久吧去。我这个东西给他这样的，然后这自己的存在，然后常常那么做这么多。我这自己存在的，但是恰当没送的，嘛自己的，恰当没送有了。我这里嘛，做这先把嘛的，全部什么这样子，然后在自己的的，我听着老小嘛，这恰当没送的嘛，他下那的，我这听着那我认多。
So then we go back to page 37. So we have on page 36 we have first visualize this immeasurable palace and then these protective spheres around that. And then next comes the visualization of the self-visualization, which arises in 5 steps, and it is called the 5 manifest enlightenment. So there's a 5-fold visualization, beginning on page 37. So inside that palace that you have generated, then in the center there is so first in the center there's a multicolored lotus. there's a sun disk with Bhairava and Kalarati as a seed, and upon this is a mandala of sun and moon. So that's actually the first step of those 5. So it's the sun. The first actually it's the moon, and then it's the sun, and then on top of that the white vowels and consonants. And so there's 5 steps of visualization. The first one is the white and the red drops that we have received from our parents. So the generation stage explains the stages in which one takes birth. So the moon disk and the sun disk represent the white and the red drops of the parents coming together. So they're on top of each other. And then, so that's the first and the second one. And so here it's considered separate. Sometimes, actually, the sun and the moon disk are considered as one step in that visualization, and then that would be the second one. And then the first one would be emptiness, but here it's not emptiness. So here they are considered separately. So you have the moon, you have the sun. And then the third one is then the nada of my awareness enters it and transforms into a vajra with a brilliant hungarit center. So then the third one is your own consciousness, the nada that enters into that this union of the sun and the moon, or the white and the red drops. And that's like the consciousness entering the womb then. And then the fourth one is the implement. The implement here is the vajra. So then it's like a child growing in the womb. First the consciousness enters the womb, and then it begins to grow like into an embryo. So then it starts to take on some kind of shape, but not like a human yet. And so it is actually said that if the child is to be a boy, then it is like the shape of a vajra, and if it will be a girl, then it's the shape of a bell. And so here it is, the implement is the vajra, so the shape of a vajra, and with the hungarit center, and then light radiates from that, and it makes offerings to the Buddhas and benefits beings. So it purifies the obscurations and the negativities of sentient beings. And then the light gathers back and dissolves into the seed syllable. And then it all transforms, and I arise as the transcendent conqueror Cakrasamvara, and that is the 5th step. Then you appear as the complete form of the deity. That's the 5th step then. And so you can visualize it according to that image that you have received. Just look at this image and you visualize yourself like that. And then what follows after on page 38 is then the detailed visualization of the deity and the consort, the yap and the yum. And so in general, also as Rinpoche taught yesterday, the two represent together the union of appearance and emptiness. The appearance aspect is the yap, the male, and the emptiness aspect is the yum, the female. And then there's one thing here on page 39 that might cause some question marks in one's mind, that is standing on Bhairava's head and between Kalarati's breasts. So you might know, it might seem like a bit strange. So what that really means is actually, it just means that the afflictions of attachment, aversion, and ignorance are suppressed. And it doesn't mean anything else. It doesn't mean like trampling on someone alive or something like that.
Sanmora, Jetan Demjote,
Nope, Deniflo.
Or Sermo, Sukjama. Or the Demjon Rotan, the Yonghon and Rogodoti, Majuk looks on that the Yonghon chatted, Chungo, the Katsan, Yon de Selason, 我这几率我听住的几率提前那么前头，真的就当今但中啊，现在把那把他的从小的从大起呢，开始呢，去看那把他吧，看着嘛，龙看那把他吧的拉嘛。我没看那把他吧是通街嘛，三看那把他吧是宿舍嘛，我听住的我看着现在从小的。我真的，大家当今呢，我大家老上的上头，我的去。
So then, so then we visualize the principal deity, which is the main deity and the consort, and then so we speak about 5 Cakrasamvara deities. So then there's also the 4 Hartakinis. First, there is in the eastern direction there is Dakini, who is blue in color. So that's actually on page 41 in the first line. So there is in the eastern direction, which is here in front, is the blue Dakini, and then to the left it says, which is the northern direction, there is green Lama, the Dakini. Then behind, which is in the western direction, is red Kandaroha, and on the right, which is in the south, is yellow Rubini. And now this is, as we mentioned yesterday, Cakrasamvara belongs to the Mother Tantras. And in the Mother Tantras, just like we have said, we are arranging the water offering starting from the left. So also the Dakinis are situated in a left, like turning circle. So starting from the front and then going left, kind of they're set up left and turning to the left. And also the 4 Dakinis, they represent the purified 4 elements. When water in its pure state is the Dakini, the first one. Pure wind is Lama. Pure fire is Kendaroha. And pure earth is Rubini.
Then I ran so Jerem to come to the good Nala Rangi Marobe, Nama Rangi Marobe, then Jason Davendota, Kasan Shuimba, or Tendrin of Sequam Gorzondo, was the Karsena, Nanchala, Chalam, Nanjula, Donchala Rangi Maro was, what in Daki Tal in Pandate of Sarat and Ruchina, or Dapat Chibikanta, or the Ninjikazum Zondo, Jiberan Batini, Zorberan, Jerem Tini, Zorem, Chaza Chimbo, Eva Miba. 这是娘是呢，马些那是马些外头呢，他们没用过马来，甚至用过马来。这两天你做的人吧，也把没吧，娘是呢，把那是的，看着娘是呢过生呢，我等江松都有那个事吧，这人是江松，等哪了，我不找不了马来是，我不说找吧没，让哪学的是，我听你他这两天你的做两的也把没了。这节奏你不也没把它敲在心部，这两天昨天敲在心部的时候，这节奏你不也没吧，也完没吧？我听着你们是那些过来种的吧？我听对他这个人不去可能种还是呢？这两天谁打电话种有的种，但是我听个种查浪能工作强这样的人，我这时候这样切入，我这时候谁浪工过去，但你们我说。在其他人用没的，那他在别下办种这些提供那屋里马下话是大，在下屋里也屋话是大，听住起样每种的是光，我听住说的说，听住说，是我吃啥子别送去，我听住起啊，六说这有啥的，我听住他是我去过去的，我这几岁没来这边去，他种多还是种是呢，他也他们接人光被去是，绿囊通。 华南江从这是，他那我总没被是把是，我俺龙东插江这是，我他那上年没被浪多是，我这什么时同年的我当时这是，他那确实没被当这是，我他听着那个消息，可是呢，对那东华南，他我总没的，他就俺做绿的恰当绿的点恰当忙不有了，他恰当用个嘛的是。 这俺他那他插江这，这让俺他你都那么那完他插换俺那么多，他插换俺这么恰送那的呢，上年浪多在恰当街头3岁什么，这现在了确实，人家确实有么那别听到一直是我在今年那他的你都有，那完他插换俺10多就不行，我在听着那这说那俺就可下是那么多，我在听着那么子光不学啥的嘛。
So when we practice them, when we meditate on the generation stage, then it is that we should, when the deity appears, we should see it as appearing, but still lacking any inherent existence. We mentioned that yesterday. It appears just like a rainbow. So the appearance aspect of the deity is the vivid appearance, the clear appearance. And the emptiness aspect is that while it clearly appears, it lacks any inherent existence, any substantial existence. So in that way, it is free from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. Lord Jigten Sumgön had said that if one practices the generation and completion stages, or if one doesn't know how to practice the generation and completion stages as an indivisible union, that is Mahamudra, then one's practice actually is not really authentic. So the way to practice it in union, so how can we practice the generation stage and completion stage in union? It is to visualize the deity like appearing clearly like a rainbow. And that appearance lacks any true substantial existence. So it clearly appears, and yet it is empty. It is ungraspable. And that is the union of the generation and completion stages. And the union of generation and completion, that is Mahamudra. And so this is how we need to practice the deity. Also the other day, Rinpoche had taught on the generation stage, and he said that it possesses three aspects of clarity, purity, and stability. And as for the clarity aspect, here we need to visualize the deity vividly clear, and with all its the color and the implements and the ornaments and so forth. And so in the beginning, if you're not so experienced yet in the deity visualization, you can just take the picture of the deity and look at the picture and gradually look in stages at the picture. So you could start on top with the head, and then you work yourself down. You carefully look at the image until you reach the throne, the bottom, the seat. And then again, you can work yourself up from the seat to the crown. And then sometimes close your eyes and then meditate on that for a little while. And just try to find various methods for the generation stage to become clear, for this image of the deity to appear clearly in the mind. So that's one way of doing that, to create that clarity. And then Milarepa has said, when I meditate on the generation stage of the Yidam deity and visualize my form in the form of the Yidam, then form appears but is empty. So when form appears, when form is seen as appearing yet empty, it appears like a rainbow in the sky, and all grasping at the physical substance of a substantial form all disintegrates. And when I recite the deity's mantra, I realize the empty nature of sound, so all sound becomes like an echo, and all grasping of sound dissolves. And then when I look at the mind that is clear and empty, all dualistic biased views dissolve, self-grasping becomes exhausted. So what Milarepa is saying, that through practicing the deity, the attachment to the body disappears, and also the grasping at sound. When sound is seen as empty, it becomes the sound of the mantra, which is then, the sound becomes like an echo. And then all appearances, all thoughts arising within the mind, then appear as the Dharmakaya.
Tene tanga zo tabe temba se tajen se tangi ne rezidi se shugo tem choro. Wa tene ta merit demo tavan so shores. O tin da kchava so shedan tavan da chava.
Das kommt mir gerade.
Demo. Tama. Der chava te shedan tava. the cord the large sola and Dochatava, or then Sonshloa, or then Bema the George Mangoba, Nimate Chanchup Kinukumiba, Chanchup Kinukuyami. Or then Jiglu to Jigi, the Transcendent of Jetanga, the Gayan Ziba, or then adding Gayans and the Chakamos or something in Kurva, or then Gayan Zia Tava. Or then La Yavion Kurantina, Sam Zivik Chala, Yabda, Zivicha, Yab Tab, the Chen Yab, Dombecha, the Shiravion, or Tini song to Tini Yamajiva song to Joba. So you or Tiamion Tenches to the door. Oh, thank you, sorry. Oh, then,
Nima de Cakrasamvara. Nima Cakrasamvara.
Nima Chanchup Nugumia. Nugumia, Shinkanda, Nugumi Selavura. Oh, then, that's a Gondo Wombo and Tina Underwater. They chewing Jura maybe, because I go on Tina chewing Jura maybe. Oh, then, Saba the Zeva needs me, but Sonja Subsi needs me, Ishik, Sonja Sheji. Or then Chani Devata Tomba, Chani de Tongi. The Shamni Dembani, Gunzo Demba, the Tonam Dembani. Then you get Jamarbo, Nigga Sonshua. Then Chiva should say, but they do in Jomba.
Jen
Or Jen Marbote,
Mapotira.
or Ninja Soya. Or then Chiva should do in Jomba. Oh, they were a chance to change the thing you can't job at the towards on it. Or that chance to Taba had it and Chai Dorjee, young Chibit, Tapata, Tapetava, Tomba, or the Dachini part task on the door. Or then Jigsaw Norway, you rather to Jareva Goya. And to just as Reva Goya, to just sentence Reva Goya. Or then Nyomok Sadunsi and Dava Chija, Yurandava Cheka Yura, which is I about Nyomok Sadunsi and Dava Chekasi. Or the Chinese tones out, not what to not what to don't do to Ujay, that are not what to do. The Ying and Sonji, the Tokamga. Or the Chuni toast you, but the Dorjee topic the Rupa, you shall Sara. Or the Parachimba tones on the Rebek Janto La Soyosara, Rebek Janto. Or the name Dugil Jaria, dark papa.
This Kare.
Dugil Java, dark papa, Dasham Yura, dark Kenta.
Did you check?
Dugil number Jaran. Dugil Jara, Jarkana, Jarkan Yura. Dugil Jar. Dushi.
Yeah, and it should love him.
Du kan jom sig lapp som tog det. Vad gör det? Och den du kan göra. Och den du kan du gör kring gå till andra mot. Kanske det som jung upp ta vad den går till lam då den andra kan du kan du gör sitt går till toppen till vad den du kan du var sig.
Det tror jag.
Och den där Drupani sig aktivt med på någon kod och Drupani zai beton da from son kore so da ti la ta so la ta song do ta da ti ti gong do qiang chen zo zhe guo ba de kuo nang yuan tian zhe zuo de ke tong da de den du jian du bi qi ten zhe gui xing de zhe jing duo den du wo ten zhe cang ma le guo ba de zhe yu sa da den wen wang cang cang zi zang la zhu zi xin na ce gong ge xie ten zhe tong duo wo ten zhe yu san ma le de wo jie dang qi nang zu zan me ke lu su jian duo de la zhu xiu ji ten zhe ma ra xi ma zhong zhong le ba wo ten zhe yin duo.
So then you can also follow. There's now an explanation on the meaning of the deity's appearance, and so you can maybe follow that. Start with where is it? Actually, we're starting in the beginning. Yeah. So the beginning begins with the body color. So where is that? So on page 38. So it's not so. So you arise as a transcendent conqueror. So then we go through the whole visualization here and the meaning. first, the deity Cakrasamvara, his color, his body color is a dark blue color like the sky, and that is a sign of the unchanging Dharma Dhatu expanse. And then the one face that represents the non-dual primordial wisdom. So the face that is the clear, luminous face represents this non-dual primordial wisdom. And then his two hands, two arms represent bliss and emptiness. And his two legs represent the two truths, the relative and the ultimate truth. And the red eye represents compassion. And then the four fangs represents the feet of the four maras. And then the hair being bound up to a top knot at the crown, that is a sign of having become freed from all worldly activity. And then in his hands, he's holding in the right hand the vajra and in the left hand a bell. And that is a sign of being free from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. And then at the crown, and at the top knot at the crown, there is a jewel, and that is a sign of fulfilling the needs of those to be tamed. And then also in the crown top knot, there is a half moon, a crescent moon, and that is a sign of dispelling the heat, the torment of the tormenting heat of the afflictive emotions. And then also towards the front of that top knot is a crossed vajra, and that is a sign of performing the four enlightened activities. And then also the crown is adorned with an ornament of 5 dried skulls. And that is a sign of the 5 primordial wisdoms. And then the hairline is bound by a vajra cord, and that is a sign of having actualized dharmata. And then the deity is adorned with the 6 born ornaments, and that is a sign of the 6 paramitas. And the deity wears tiger skin skirt, and that is a sign of overcoming, being conquerors over the 4 maras, the 4 demons. And then there is the so then there is like a rosary around the head, and that is a sign of sometimes it is that it is a sign of having purified this necklace is a sign of having purified the mental events, 51 mental events. But also here it is said it is a sign of taming, of subjugating those to be tamed. And then the deity abides within masses of fire, and that is a sign of having burned away the 2 obscurations. And so each of these implements and ornaments and symbols of the deity, they each represent a certain enlightened quality of the deity's mind. And the deity arises in order to tame sentient beings, for the benefit of sentient beings. So for this reason, each of those signs represents a certain quality within the deity's mind. So sometimes when we practice the secret mantra, there are wrathful deities that might appear a bit terrifying, a bit scary. But that's actually not what is intended here. And so actually also in the new tantric system, the deities are generally, they are not so wrathful actually. They're not very wrathful. In the new tantric system, they are like semi-wrathful.
tene jitanzi la shiva se de chu se zo the cham ningi kirangi rindo, the shiva the mansi chambe kirangi, true to ningi kirangi, what a cham ningi kiranzo chadi or magic, the Chagnamon kirangi chama, true to Shinatsu in Akona, cham ningi kirangi, some gentamji, the ningi kirangi chadi or some jankadunga maybe, ningi set it or what the cheat in that a yum doji pamotan, Gondo Amarbo Tendrova Jis Chaba, Gondo Amarbo Tendrova Jis Chaba. Cha ye to go to Jobate, that's on the Job to go.
Ye to go.
You want to talk to it, to talk to Jis Chabet on that question, Jis Chaba. Or then that Shabni or Shabni Tapshi in the one stab Shiran Yamadi social sari. Chetanchi Shabi, they gom they John the Yoda, that's about the Shivani in the Manila. This and social person. Tesiba, Shivani Siki Nisana, Ziban comes on Korada, Shivate, Auntie Ninto Zola, Nintona Sanchez Shivalam daughter, Tini Manhile. What in Tatabat and social sari, what in Tabash Chambaras, the Chindoa. What the Tajan Chitine, then the Najar Adema and the Chitantas, Kaduna, Sosulak, Najar Maji Koshusari. Zeta, Soso Kaduna, the Jerem, Sosulai, Zamta, Tentuchigo should be Charles Saman, and so Rangichi, Rodo Jonam Kare, in a hack, Namata Madiva. The Chino Jikansi say she conquerangi, not using Jantamchila than Hamotani, Dadatamji, Arkanagi, Tambo, so this more part sheet. There is also comes on nothing to Rangi Chan or Shosari. What do you do? So to do the Chitum, Najadim, but the Pentochimbo Yosari Karsena, Lai, some little hot shot piat, to do yourself. They hunt the Jerem to see you. Now, the Najadim, but Mina, the Karsena, the Jerem Timbocha, the Scalicaba, hunting to Chunk Yosari, Kadun and Hakan Najar Majiva, the Jerem Sotimbocha, Pento Yosari, Jitumala Repeson, or Karzon or Sena, Lai Jerem Gungomni, Tamen Yajin Tees. La Jerem Gong, the content I may not get some G's on door, what an Agitanga so Maji was that one going out in door. Ah,
Chesamari, I think Chesamara. Did you think a last one? The pressure love song. So then in the Vajrayana we have peaceful deities and wrathful deities, and their real nature is love and compassion. The peaceful deities are of more loving nature, and the wrathful deities of more compassionate nature. But in whichever way they appear, they are always free of anger, or attachment, or ignorance. And their nature is love and compassion. And so then also there is the consort, Vajrayogini, and her body color is red. And the red color is a sign of her love, her affection for those to be tamed. And in her right hand, she holds a curved knife. And that is a sign of having cut through the dualistic grasping at a subject and object. And in her left hand, she holds a skull cup filled with blood. And that also is a sign of her caring for beings with affection. And her two legs represent method and wisdom. And then one leg bent and the other stretched out. That is a sign that she does not abide in the extremes of existence or peace. So existence here refers to she does not abide in the extreme of samsaric existence, but also not in peace, which means she does not abide in the states of the solitary realizers and hearers and so on. So that is the purity. Here we recall the pure qualities of the pure meaning of the deity's appearance. And that's the second aspect of the generation stage. And then the third one is stability, and that is where we develop a confidence of actually being the deity, like a divine confidence of actually being the deity. And so when we practice the generation stage, when you visualize yourself as the deity, there also should be really a confidence, a certainty of knowing I really am the deity. And actually not just yourself, but all that appears and exists. The entire universe is an immeasurable palace, the mandala of the deity, and all the sentient beings, their nature is the deity. All sounds have the nature of mantra. So if you practice in this way, then it will be good to develop, easier to develop this confidence of really being the deity. So it is, and that is really actually the most important part of the generation stage, to develop this certainty of being the deity. Because if you don't have that, then actually the whole generation stage is said to become not very stable. So it's really through that certainty, that confidence of being the deity, this is what really brings stability to the generation stage. So you should never separate from that certainty. Milarepa also has said that when you visualize the deity, when I visualize the deity, as I continue to visualize the deity, I've forgotten about all ordinary appearance, about my ordinary body. So this is how it becomes when it becomes stable, and until it becomes stable like that, we need to habituate.
Jerem tembe kanza nams, jerem tembe kanza nam. Nansi la tang la moshars, nansi la tang la moshar. Tame nawan ga ane jans, tame nawan ga ane jans. Dorjee chang ke shinkam sus. Nimi guamba nguansar ches, nismi ba gumya tang nguansar chimbores. Wate zongdo wate ne 다 지다 페레 정도 지변 가서는 손냠스 내야 안다스 손돌 뒤디제 이나 제조니 신도르스 제렘데 조렘니스 와테네 제렘데 타브레스 조렘데 시라브레스 와테니 제렘니라 조렘레스 조렘니데 제렘레스 와테 다 주마데 블라데 고고 효레스데 제조 예르미 바레스 와테니 탑시리미 노마타테르 냠나치 고쇼사라마 와테 좀도
Sitting lang at Hilario somewhere.
Yeah. That was it.
You go to love somewhere.
How must I allow you? Chanjo, Nima Chanjo, you can be say.
I forgot if I said that or not.
Nima, then Chanjo.
Did I say anything about sprouts? What is not right? Okay. Liars on matter. So, I forgot to mention something in the visualization. Sorry, I think I made a wrong mark here and I forgot to mention something. I think I'd lie or somebody. Let's go. Now quickly going back to the protection sphere. The fire mountains, right, and so on, they represent where are we? Ducharava. Yeah, so the pure form of desire, and then the what comes afterwards? And after the so the fire mountains are a sign of having clarified ignorance, and then and so then the fence of or this web of vajras represents purified hatred, and then this dome and the canopy represent the purified attachment, and the moon represents being undefiled by the faults of samsara, and the sun referred to finding the sprout of bodhicitta, and then that seed of Kalarati and Bhairava together represent the having purified the grasping at an eye, and then all of the other thoughts of attachment and aversion that arise from that. So all of these graspings are cleared away. And then the deity Yab Yum together represent the union of clarity and emptiness. The clarity aspect is the Yab, the male, which also represents great bliss, and the emptiness aspect is the female that represents wisdom, and so they are a union. So that is, I think, what I missed, and now we're coming back to where we were. And so Lord Jigten Sumgön had said that when you practice the generation stage, those who practice the generation stage, when practicing that, all that appears and exists and all beings should appear as the deity, as gods and goddesses. The generation stage, the visualization, brings an end to all ordinary appearances. And he said then, how wondrous is it to meditate on this non-dual, primordial, like pure land of Vajradhara. And so in brief, then also Jigten Sumgön had said, when you engage in the practice of Deity Yoga, then the generation stage gathers in the completion stage, or the generation stage is the method or skillful means, and the completion stage is the wisdom aspect. So they must be practiced in union. The generation stage is the completion stage, or is in union with the completion stage. And in that way, you should meditate on the illusory appearance of the deity. So the key point here is that the two stages are an indivisible union. They are the union of method and wisdom.
Chevan that Om Garbo, Jimbabe Mahamarbo Sendo, Nikana Sodurji, Taku Zon to Durji Rangi on Sonsho Sarete. Tereda Nika Han Nikara on Hangara, Go Nama Heser, Tixo, what an Kocha Sergaba, or Kocha Late, Gomna Tenazo, Casampungo Tezono, that's Tondate Sarete. Pungu Kilates, Punkam Kilates on Ramada Sari. Or the Chitine, the Tala Magon and the Siet as a gom and the Siet, the Chat, Papi, and the Chilonda, and the Supuna Gom Chilonda, the Gom Dixos, a year that can't also so, or the year the Gom Dixos, that Quajas running as that's one on Kogura, what do you do? So Gomna Dixos at the then the Tango to Kalek and Mandogura.
So then next, so we are on page 42 in the bottom then, and it says at the forehead of each deity is a white Om, at the throat red Am, and at the heart is a blue Hung. And so these represent the Vajras of body, speech and mind. And then next on page 43, then are those syllables at the heart of the Father, a white Om Ha, and so forth. So these syllables, so it goes until 44 in the end with Pat Pat. So all of that, these syllables here are called the armor deities. So you are donning the armor as a protection. And yesterday we mentioned that the aggregates and the elements in one's body are the deity by nature. And so here you visualize those armor deities on the different places of the body, but actually you don't have to visualize the deities. It is enough if you just visualize the syllables, like here, the syllables of these deities. And these syllables are also not right inside your body, but they are like protruding. They're like coming out a little bit from the inside of your body. So it makes like a shape coming out of your body, and so they represent the armor deities, which is a protection.
then the Marchi, Pem Jatan, GB, Pem Jatan, Nicarho, Jesu Babo, Nature, Wankilan, and due to General Chor, Mezavene, Home, Pimazamasi, Home, Pimazamalang, Home, Pimazamaran, Home, Pimazazim, Bezalasim, Shopamazam, Home, Pirasan, the Sabatim, the Mother, the Baza Home, peace. Or that Chohu Pem Jati, Niki Home, Chohu Babo Nature, the one class of Jan Chanson, some with want to her want. Or then she in Zapon Baho Ishi Batan is me, since Zapon Baho Ishi Batan is me. Rova or the chi or yoga should have survived and my yoga should Hans Sarvada Tangata and Kansas the Marquis or wanted to say come Bachat to Shidatan Bazan and Taishan D, Dr. Richard on Sarvada Tangata and the Kangatism. She is on Kiwango, Countramata, they watching Boran should honor on Zola Mechuana and the control my getting Jimujan chores. Or that that one I asked one layer, want layer Katsangima taking in the one layer, he was a shrimba, was a cheat in a Jetan Dick on want one she Chatan Goya Marison. Jerem Joa, Jerem the Chuk one who may want to watch your Satan if Chuk one on Chadura, meant the one she Bashir Jayo Marisewa. What the Karsi one she Gondo Legiona. You wanted Choba Shiri, Che Na Sama, Tekona in Choba, Choba she was one she turned out in Andreas. What is on worry? What in do then Tatani? That's all the one of Chadiora. Then you can go to Zondo, Jerem Gombe Tusu, who wants to watch your was, Shan support surely trouble with this. Then Lam the Jibu want you, Cheba me by name and the Kova is Lamdi Yoda Lam the Jibu someone, Jimmy by Layat, Kosho rest on Anachina. What then do that Chuas could do on one layer or Yoruba? What then you can want to do on the one? What then do Zotangasote? Did not be wanted and Chadi. What did you don't want Lam gun? Let want Karsena, that you can also one the Digit Tamsa in just of a giant to the Jepsa. Do you think Sanjik Sab, one Goria, one Sanjik Sabram Momba Sanji? Kasawan Gors situated in Nima Jarak looks watching the one Gors, Jerotic Hotel, Tajersi one Gors Lamdo, what then I the Sanjik Sawan Gortobia. Or that do Tonda say you said it.
Mombacher.
The Sanjik Sab.
Momba Sankit Sab.
That's Sanji Yora. Sanji Chelsea to be Gilan, Sanji takes up the Jersando. Jersab, or Jersando to the Casana, Jagar in Nangima, Jerwok Zela, Jerwon Sabgo, Gonasi, Mambo, one course selection. Titan, I said it. What in it remarks on the Rigda, one Chuya chant in the Rigda, Terrindor, Susudapote, followed them by Konala, Machu Ujian. The Yom Tenaba Nazi Ujian, Kandoshi was the Regan Jumiak, Ujian, what that Rindo?
So then we are on page 44, and so then we are next inviting the deities so that we then can receive, we are about to receive empowerment, and for that we are inviting the empowerment deities on page 44 with that last line, and then there is the offering mantras, and then on page 46 then the deities have come, and then Tsahung Bamho, the wisdom and commitment beings, become indivisible. And then next, then there's the mantra, and then on page 47 begins with the empowerment then. And so the other day we also mentioned some instructions on the empowerment during the Samadhi empowerment. And so here, actually, we only have one empowerment, because here it's not actually necessary to have all four empowerments, because here we are practicing the generation stage, and for that we need the vase empowerment, or it's also called water empowerment sometimes. So because we are here visualizing the deity, we want the first empowerment, the vase empowerment. And the other four, or the other three of those four empowerments are not actually clearly mentioned here. But it is said that if one really wants to add those other 3 empowerments, so you have 4 empowerments, then it is that you can also take the offerings as the 4 empowerments, because there's 4 offerings. There is the outer, inner, secret, and suchness offering. So they can also become the 4 empowerments. And so Lord Jigten Sumgön has said when you meditate on the generation stage, then when practicing the generation stage, you mainly need the form empowerment or the vase empowerment of the deity. And by doing that, then actually the 3 other empowerments will just arise naturally from that. And in that way, you need to know how to practice the path and the result together continuously. And so in the various sadhanas, in the various rituals, we receive empowerment in that way, sometimes 4 empowerments. And so here we have the vase empowerment, because that's most important here. And so in general, regarding the empowerment, also Lord Jigten Sumgön said that by receiving an empowerment, so in generally speaking now, the purpose of receiving the empowerment is that it purifies all broken samayas or vows, and also obscurations and negativities. And also one becomes like a regent for a future Buddha. It's like the Buddhas now initiate you so that in the future you become a Buddha. It is just like in the old tradition in India, for example, a king would, coronate, make like a certain initiation ceremony for the prince, which then means in the future he's meant to become the king. So just like that, we are receiving the empowerment and then becoming like regents of the Buddha, so becoming future Buddhas. And so then in the end, here on page 48, so then the empowerment deities confer the empowerment and pour the nectar into our crown, and then the overflow of that nectar then forms a crown ornament of the principal Lord of that particular family, of that deity. And so here, in the context of Cakrasamvara, for Cakrasamvara, it becomes a crown ornament of Akshobhya. On Vajrayogini, it becomes an ornament of Vairocana. And on the 4 Hartakinis, it becomes an ornament of Ratnasambhava.
Tene dandri ma choba she tere wata de chawja tsu nga tsu tu shira yo mara tani na da rimbo chi shogdi ru ma jo tingo da skina de la wondo rimbo chawja tsu be yabo nang gira ba tene te chi ka ji da nga tsu ne ma zhuban so de chawja ti shi gira ba te chi tene da ne ma nge lo ro da nga tsu ne ma tu shira yo mara tene o me yere heru ka sabara bara argam zamana to che ba de mi video Shabda Badin so Mazavan, Mazamasi, Mazamandang, Mazamaranz, Mazahas, Mazarasim, Badagaruba, Mazarasa, Masapash, Madam Chinjazavada, Juberji, Bandana Matabanam, Chit, Omia, Madahi, Rogam, Bin, Mother Mirzanium, Rakanam, Kera Rupine, Sarvata Mabala, Sarvata Dangata, and Ranga Mother Sabay, Mako, or that Argam Tesodati, Chobeta Mojuru, Chin Chobachi, Naju, the Dutz Choyajendo. What is he? What in him? Some about on Savata Tangata and Rumba. What is it taken? That Kazan or take para take on and chobat Yam Madeton, this some Donna. What?
So then after that, next are again the 4 offerings. And so we don't have so much time now to go into each of the mudras of those, the hand gestures of these offerings. But now this year Rinpoche is here, and he really shows this, he demonstrates these mudras really so well, so we can then learn it from Rinpoche later. And most of you maybe already know those mudras because you have done the retreat before. So we'll just move on. And so again, page 49, which are the argam and so on offerings, the water offerings, and then page 50, the 16 offering goddesses. Those 2 are the outer offerings. And then on page 51, then the nectar offering is the inner offering. And then on page 52, the Om Sarvatathagata, the first mantra, is the secret offering. And the suchness offering, the fourth one, then is to rest in bliss emptiness.
Và thế nên ta nói mà tôi bảo chế độ thì mình công chí sẽ tôi bảo xây dựng nó đó, giáo viên mình tôi bảo công chí sẽ, và thế thì, và thế thì在前两天报应送出头，可是是呢，你们家下其实主top chế thì công chí呢，东多帮我这个修的是，多帮我讲这修呢，但东的是多帮我有了，但是这个修呢，空công chí tôi bảo東我才了，多帮亲不接，多亲不接个，空修的是东的是。这东对这呢，接了过半周是的，他这上面多，他过来钱都是，他这上面多的了，过来叫，我这呢其他情况有的是啦，我这刚才他这做这个怎么说样多半弄了，我但这个嘛这乱着了，今天把我安排了抢去搞了钱帮他也没在我这边做这就偏，查询这些中文的抢的我在东厂不来不知道小天东厂看他们在大几包还拿3千万嘛，对吧？目前东厂过来的，我们今天的嘛都接旁边几天上面现在没得这边往中国他们自己跟这边嘛都是新嘛都是电嘛现在嘛他儿子以后也头就跟嘛这边就，上次有点老人把那家那不人家嘛他们嘛这边都是旁边那就新帮忙那些往他过来那说什么就这半年要他搞他教个这。那就是嘛，那抢啥的都是。但那路上什么就前半年就现在多，那这是快学啥的。就很多。路前半年玩下的看着急，左边前半年玩下把它拉马机，三前半年玩下把它，同前嘛，秋前半年玩苏前嘛，我这看着些。这搞瓦些多的，搞瓦些我去拿这学生看着些我搞瓦些，我去搞瓦，就个还得搞这天气这边搞瓦是个是吧？我这搞瓦些我去拿这学生看着些是吧？我这去做同大个拿什么当拿这同大是吧？我这那就是嘛一大家这是那多。
So then next there is a praise. Page 52 until 55 in the end, and so there is 2 eightfold praises, and these actually that praise here is a praise to Yap and Yum, to both, and it really is endowed with really great blessings. There was the story of an Indian Siddha who was sitting on a huge boulder, and sitting on this boulder, he chanted these 2 eightfold praises to the male and female, the Yap and the Yum, and then he left. And after he left, actually, it is said that the gods and demons came, and they were then circumambulating that boulder. So it shows that this praise really has a lot of blessings. So Rinpoche just read that praise, and now. In the end, on page 55, it says, and those also the praise to the 4 heart yoginis. So what they represent is those 4 activities, and they represent the 4 placements of mindfulness, of body, feeling, and phenomena. So the mindfulness of the body, that is Dakini, the Dakini. Then the mindfulness of feeling is the Dakini Lama, and the mindfulness of mind is Kendaroha, and the mindfulness of phenomena is Rupini. And so likewise, the 4 Dakinis, they also represent the 4 levels of joy. So joy, supreme joy, beyond joy, and co-emergent joy.
我的呢，先把刚才看到是的呢，让你还有个这边客户在送过来，是基本上都真把个些人讲我对吧？阿妈的一些没不，所以那边一个送一个呢，一个老师带着把上些他这弄开就是送东西多。我的让还有个这个人是让还有个他个拿了让嘛有让一这个学了。我这是对的呢，可怕在送可乐些，可怕在送是在欧嘛、江嘛、罗马是，我在送多，我在送可乐些是，我的欧嘛的他接触呢马上呢收的了， kanto te ngombo china reksho sari da kahi chingo namar zi xalenda ado da chiba shira suyo sama da
chi kare
chingo bod namar bonda tindu na yo sari wa tene ye roma te mar bonda yo jama te kar bonda wa tindu na wa chin reksho saro wa wa de ro chang ni chi de je wo de zang ko xie se zang ko lo xie ji de de ba tela deba 주변 콜로담도 세상고 tela 잔다 축출럽게 너무 요사래 잔다 축출럽게 어치 대카钱야디 초대라는 얘도 나는데 어ත네 니가 추진 콜로라 잔답지 어때봐 칸도 말워지 니가 잔답지 대 카마르 초대지
가발랍송 데발라라
데바 칸도 말워지라
말워지라
Teninka terwa.
Tikado karaso.
Kando garbo.
Garbo
Kando garbo zanda ji ri song. Wa tene jimba ti longchung kolola. Zanda ji ro. Te kando mar bon dong sare. Wa te ji tene ji woro de jan kolola zanda su soni te. Kando jan ku dong sare. Và thế chỉ thế này ta trình bày sang đạo về yar khai sử nhưng chỉ vào mà khai sử thế này ta có thế rồi và thế này chỉ vào ham thằng trình bày om sẽ làm đó chỉ vào ham thế mà khai lọ thế trình bày om thì yar khai thế này nhưng cả phong thế mang go lọ thế thế và thì yar thế này và thế rồi đó thế này 이게 멤버 콜로좀테 자솜킨도 자솜테 데베요 소르킨 삼테레라 오메남 소추디오레스 와텐두 이게 멤버 콜로좀스 와테네 데레 데베케 아시테레야 멤버네 데네 이게 콜로좀 소소네베 이게 남시테 이게 콜로좀테 이게 소소 차이송잠 데네 함 마가차한 Gotcha, the Deity gotcha till then you get on large on the room bars or the rooch in the Temiqua, and Yamnachi Goshari. Also, that the long down the Goshoraz, it's not the Mokumia in along this Talon Tambo Sublong does it Sina, this Galicabo, your Tanjamong does in the Jamong, so long Humbajian said, Humbajian said that Jetansina. I think long to Martis, that long to ye some yard 10 degrees. This quam at home now, Mambotan, your Maris what can do or ye some yard 10, and no cajors, they work wall, make natural, no cajors, what in it, and do Zido, or what and do Chico Shosari, then Kasi did the make patch to more metica, long but there and I did metia. Sad dash there and on the Ruchin. So what that said you were the dream by Ninkasa was Semdi Mado Devati Ashitera Semdi Yamnachina, Pentochi or Saliman. That's a yarn Mikatomotina on. Something these are or some Malandix at the church on something. Yeah, Tombodi Yabo Marisemala. Ashi the Ramikazo in the Yabo Saris or the and sorry.
So then on wait a minute. Yeah, so then we come to page 56. So here you visualize yourself as the deity, Ruka Cakrasamvara, again appearing clearly but lacking any inherent nature. And so then it says there's Haruka, which is you, and within your body are the 3 channels and the 4 chakras. So the 3 channels are the central channel and the left and the right channel. And then you have the 4 chakras. And the central channel extends from the crown down to the secret place. And so here it is said that the central channel is blue. And sometimes elsewhere also it is said that the central channel is blue on the outside and red on the inside. So here we can think of it as just blue. And the right channel is...
Wa ye Roma the Kando Marwachi, your Jama Tinibot Karsana, they were Sorhi Tamni, Umenachu, yarn goal marching nal told the nine or told what thing it Jesus.
Yeah, so then the the right channel is red and the left channel is white, and they on the lower part they converge 4 finger width below the navel chakra. They converge with the central channel, so they go into the central channel. And on the upper part, they curl behind your ears, and then they come to your nostrils. So it goes like this. So there's those 2 left and right channels, and then there is the 4 main chakras. There is the navel chakra that is called the emanation chakra, and the navel chakra has 64 subsidiary channels coming from the central channel. And the navel chakra is red in color, and the chakra itself with all these channels is like an umbrella upside down, like bending upwards, kind of like this, like upwards like this, a little bit warped upwards. And then at the heart, the heart chakra is called the Dharma chakra, and it has 8 subsidiary channels coming out of the central channel. It is white in color, so so here the navel is red, the heart is white, and here it is the chakra is again like an umbrella, a little bit warped like that, and it is facing downward like an actual umbrella, so it looks like that now. And then at the throat is the enjoyment chakra that is again red, and it has 16 subsidiary channels, and again it is bent a bit upward like an umbrella like this. And then at the crown there is the great bliss chakra, and that has 32 subsidiary channels. It is green, and again it is facing downward like this, so you have like this. And then at the crowns, then there's the syllables. So then it says at the crown is white hum, at the throat white om, at the heart blue hum, and at the navel red ah. So at the crown you have a hum that is upside down. And then at the throat you have a hum that is standing upright, and an om that's standing upright. And at the heart you have a hum that is again facing down, and at the navel the ah again is standing upright. So these are the 4 chakras and the 3 main channels. And so we have said those 3 channels, they converge 4 finger width below the navel. And so the 2 side channels then converge into the central channel. And at the navel, you should visualize an ashi, which is like a short arm, like a fire flame that is blazing. And so it says then, from the ah, wisdom fire blazes forth, burning away the syllables of the 3 chakras. So then from this ah, the navel, then the fire at the navel then blazes, and the blazing then burns the other 3 syllables at the heart, throat, and at the crown. So when it reaches the crown, the upside down hum at the crown, it melts that hum, and then the white drops from the hum descend down. So from the hum, white drops descend, and restoring the 3 syllables. A blissful warmth blazes forth. So then the white drops descending down from the hum, then again restore those syllables that were burned before. And as they are restored, you experience bliss and emptiness. And so here, actually, when we actually practice Tummo, then this entire visualization is actually done while you're actually holding the winds. And holding the winds, we would hold the winds it's called the vase breath. So that is a little bit difficult in the beginning. So in the beginning, it is for us now here fine to just like hold them gently, like in a more natural way. And so it is said that you should slightly press down the upper winds, and you are drawing up the lower winds through a slight contraction of the anus. But you should not do that too much, actually. It is that it should only be very slight in the beginning, not too much force. And so through that downward pressing and upward drawing, you are creating the union of the winds just below the navel, which becomes like a capsule just below the navel where you're holding the winds. And so within that then, so you're actually retaining the winds in the retreat then. So you're inhaling, you're retaining it here in that holding the union of the winds below the navel and still holding the winds. Then the fire within that, the tumo fire, then blazes, and then it burns away the syllables, and the syllables, and then the drops descend down and so on. So actually now for us here, it is maybe the best to not focus on too many aspects of this visualization, but the most important point of this visualization for us to direct our awareness to is the fire at the navel.
Da tambo long song ni kala long jirwa shiden sanzi khosar jirwa shiden sasi ngop tang gang tang sherwa tang da tang para namba shes wa de ngop bara sena so long ubya si gangwa sen da se so kang manzi ya si gangwa sherwa sena da dis ma tol da na par ju sor ju yon dis student tan yang cha ma dis ne bya sa si tu chi then take kasi tan ma top na then ne da pass par o sama pa tang shu chi la pa tang zhe pa shu na wo pa tang go shu da na zhe hang o na wo so ne ya pa tang ya sama na wo chi go de ba o te chi de ne o te chi go do te ne han so son ne te ne han di sin si do ya no ta gol ten du chi go ma da hua ja chi ma le o te ju ne ta zo ten mi pa tempo son di na te long ne do shu te long me samsung c'est long de mi pas simple de type là wa tendu te long mi pas short son de ne long tenir tok maro nyam te short no que wa tendu so pe cha na de be yo na so mi pas zi ta gom ja do je te long tra ne do short wa tene te nam ton da man da ju son na ko na ne tok no que es wa tendu wa ti kam tendu che pa di so sa res.
And so for the holding the winds, it is that there are holding the winds possesses four branches or four limbs that we need to there are 4 stages to it. So first there is the inhalation. So you are inhaling, you are taking in the winds. The second one is called filling. So you're after you have inhaled the winds, then you're filling. You're filling your inside with the winds. So they are filled. The navel is filled in with the winds, and then eventually they are also spread. And then you're still holding when you're filling. And then the third one is you're holding them longer, like you're keeping them in. So in here you are, if you almost can't hold the winds, then you can make yourself hold them a little bit longer by circulating your waist to the left and to the right in this way. So you're spreading out the winds a little bit in this area, so you can hold them longer. And then if you can't hold them any longer, then it says you have to let them out like shooting an arrow. So in a more forceful way. And you're inhaling and exhaling actually both through the nostrils. And so when you, that is actually something, the inhalation, those 4 steps, and then holding and spreading and then exhaling is something you would only do in the very beginning of the session, not the whole time, not throughout the whole session. So just in the beginning, and then throughout the session, what is most important is to have a stable visualization. Because if your mind is focused on the visualization, then also the winds will abide at the navel. And actually the visualization, the wind and mind are one, they become one. If you lose your visualization, then the winds also cannot abide at the navel. Then they will escape the navel. So most important is to hold your attention at the navel. The visualization is firm at the navel. And then also the wind energies will naturally abide there. Then if you begin to think about all kinds of things, then the winds also will not abide there.
Ta long so song in the Kabla, no Niki Mangalachi. Nyamson, no Niki. No Jin Guardian, I was a Mangawa. Oh, Niki. Mangawa, Kasi Jin Gardona. The young Adam Chico is young to go down to Golam Dossi Cursina. Not Mangadis at the watching, Goddess at Danchin. The Pike. Tokachin, Manina. Gardile Tokachi, Mangade watching, or the parts of Yamta, the long Yamspal, Niki Mangal, so you to Pidana, Son degrees, so the Rusare, or the down long song, the Utsu, the Jabomba going more, which are the Utsu Jana, so no grace, then Carsena, the Lucia Mareson, on some secret mail, support no so the Trondamogia, Pinto Shiraja, or some Utsu Shirajana. They want some so what is Sim my but in Yamachitona or the Koranji Troji and the Pinto Salman. Kira on with Sochimbo Jana. The Pinto, the so huge Yamar Chalon, no Shochimon Zidina, the Vizona no Society, on the Magic Society.
It is also so when you're practicing with the winds that both nostrils should be unblocked, unobstructed. And so if a nostril is blocked, that there is a yogic exercise for that, to clear it, to clear the nostril. And so there is an exercise where you would have the one that is blocked. So if this one is blocked, I said this one is blocked, then the one that's unblocked would be on kind of on the bottom, and then the one that's blocked is facing upwards. So if this kind of position blocks the nostril, but so ideally they are unblocked. And then also regarding holding the winds, now if you force yourself too much in holding the winds until like your face gets purple, that's not very good. So that's actually harming your body, and you shouldn't force yourself like that. Actually, it's also said that if you force yourself too much, so we are holding the winds, so warmth and heat arises. But if you're forcing it too much, actually it will not be helpful for heat to arise. So what's really most important is the mind, that the mind remains without distraction. And when the mind really focuses on the visualization single-pointedly, then that warmth will naturally arise. So don't force yourself too much, and don't hold the winds too forcefully, because that really only harms your body.
Long Shochimbo da song, Sam Yang di Carrera Sajo, son then Luna Sala for Yung de Zondo. What in doing answers was that is Sicosares, or then that's a cheat and also her singing door.
So it is said that if you're holding the winds too forcefully, while the mind is distracted, that actually leads to all kinds of physical sickness, illnesses. So we have to be careful with that. So now we take a break.